So today, guest is, well, first of all, a podcast in English, and I want to present to somebody that has done a lot, even at the age of 24, 23, I think. So Marc-André Blouin, who is a model and a spokesperson from the Terry Fox Foundation. Hey, Marc-André, how's it going?
Very well. How are you doing, Hugo?
Thank you. Thank you for waiting for all the big introduction, which I have to present all these people before you, but I'm glad to be with you right now. And we are live on the Facebook page. So Marc-André, we did a podcast 2 years ago already, in 2018, first time we talked to each other. I know that you did a lot, but first of all, that before we go into running and the Montreal Runners, and you can explain to the audience after, what's going on? How's quarantine?
I mean, everything's changing with quarantine, and I think it's been affecting everybody's lives, right? So whether it be their school, their work, everything is kind of on halt. So even I used to work at a restaurant. I'm not working right now temporarily. So school had a huge shift too. They had to kind of change the entire curriculum. They kind of put a lot of our exams online. So just a lot of very new things and a lot of things that were almost difficult to adapt to as well. So everything has been changing, and we've just been staying home all the time, and it's just been the same thing every day. And we're just waiting for the next step to know what to do next.
Yes, but I know that you love to go out. You always post stories going out to restaurants, to clubs. So I think it's a little bit harder for you because you're a lot social, so you go out. Is that right?
Yes, I love to go out all the time. So it's been tough not being able to, and it's been tough not being able to see friends either. I haven't seen a lot of my friends in quite a while. So
yeah, I guess.
Not
So what about the school? You were talking about school, that is a big change. Are you almost done studying? Like, you remember you were study at actuarial? Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, the semester had just ended. I ended at least last week.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially what happened was all of our exams ended up being online. So some people liked it, some people didn't, but take it as you will. There was no other way to do it.
Yeah.
But as for the rest of my bachelor, I have a 1 year left.
Okay, you have 1 year left. So you expected to go like this by a video conference and do it in school, or you maybe expecting, do you know that you guys maybe coming back in the fall to university?
Honestly, it's really hard to say. I think my answer is as good as everyone else's. No one really knows at this point. It could be online, it could not be. It really depends on how we progress with the whole pandemic going on.
Exactly. And for the other stuff that you do, like modeling, you work with the Folio Montreal. It's a modeling agency. So what's going on with that? And you're seeing less work because of that, because you have to go outside and take shots and photos and pictures. So are you going to see any less work from that side also?
Right. Yeah. With Folio, things have kind of been on halt right now just because of the whole pandemic. So we just kind of have to wait that out as well.
Yeah. So because you start modeling because of your brother, I just want to let the audience know, Marc-André has a twin brother who looks exactly the same, Matthew. So he started modeling and then you try after him. Is that right?
Exactly. Yeah. That's how it happened.
But I guess, how did you get into it? It was just your brother, let's do it, or other people say you can also try?
I mean, I guess my brother kind of inspired me to do it. He encouraged me to do it. He showed me that it really is possible. And at the end of the day, I really think modeling has to do with your attitude towards it. I think if you have a good behavior, honestly, I think anyone can model. So he just kind of gave me that idea, and I took that idea and I was able to do it. And now I've been doing it for 4 or 5 years, and I really enjoy it.
Exactly. But I guess, like you say, anyone can be a model, but there's different type of body, different type of attraction, because beauty is different. People can see beauty in different person. So I guess, do you have to be like that much beautiful? People can just try to be different as a model.
I mean, that's the thing. The model industry is so huge, or just the kind of marketing industry in general. Um, for example, if you want to advertise this product with this kind of person, there will be a specific person for that, and it's not always particularly a good looking, your typical model
Yes.
person. It can be any kind of person. So I really believe that there are gigs and jobs for every kind of person. And if you really search for those jobs, I think anyone could be successful.
Yeah. Well, there is, like you say, there's different type of modeling. Like you can act on TV as a model, looking maybe on cover of a magazine, and there's also Instagram
Yeah.
modeling. So there's a lot of type of modeling. So you think like you say, it's a mindset, and not just to be okay, not to be stopped because I'm not beautiful enough, but you can do it if you work for it.
Of course, you're a perfect fit for something out there. It's the difficult part is just finding that.
Yeah, exactly. All right, good. But I was talking about Instagram. Do you see like your content creation? Do you stop posting? What's going on with your social media side?
Yes, I've been posting less just because I haven't had as much content available.
Okay.
Um, I haven't been able to meet with photographers as much, so I haven't been able to do photo shoots. I haven't been able to do jobs. So my Instagram has been slowing down a bit. I throw in a few old posts every now and then, but
Yeah.
besides that, I haven't been able to create any new content.
Yeah. So I guess that had an impact with your relationship with businesses that you work with as an influencer and do promotion.
It definitely did affect some of the relationships. I haven't been able to deliver some content as quick as I would like to just because of the virus. Um, Companies that I would typically work for, I haven't been able to just because of this. So yeah, things have been a bit more difficult lately.
Yeah. So I guess that had an impact, a little bit financial, also. I think that's that right? Because they pay you for doing promotion and everything. So he had an impact financially.
Yes, in regards to the income that I get from modeling and that sort of thing, yes, it's been significantly less.
Yeah. So what would you recommend to any right now any influencer that has seen his collaboration diminish because of the COVID-19? What should they do? Should they start looking for other opportunities? Should they diversify? Should they try other stuff to maybe get a job, maybe for a moment before everything goes back to normal?
I mean, I guess some of the options would be, well, in terms of Instagram, I think right now it's a really good time to either reevaluate or reform what you want to do. It's a really good time for you to think, brainstorm, see if you like the kind of content you're doing, or if you want to go in a different direction. Now's the time that you can think about that. I know some people that plan out their entire Instagram post, so
Yeah.
that's something you can do. And then as soon as you're able to, you can start creating that content right away. So thinking about things before being very proactive can help a lot for later on.
Exactly. I just want to say for anyone that's watching right now, because I see people on the live, you can always ask questions about social media and the other subjects that we're going to talk. So, hello, Louis Philippe. I'm seeing you there. All right. So, um, we were talking about your brother Matthew, and I was doing my research, and I know already that because we did a podcast together, you have a good relationship with him as your twin brother, and even you guys, because you guys love to run, that's for sure. You guys love that's something that you really love. So you went together to Washington D.C. You ran into Washington D.C. to raise money for the Terry Fox Foundation, like $14,000 in 2016. How was that experience, and why did you guys did it?
That experience was great. The reason why we did it was because Terry Fox has always been a very well-known icon in Canada. He hasn't been very well known in the United States. So we proposed the idea to the Terry Fox Foundation that, hey, let's run to the USA. Let's get Terry Fox his message out, and tell Americans about who he is, what he did, and why he's so important. So we decided to run to the White House because we felt that would be the most significant place to run to in the United States. And the main goal was just to spread his message in the United States.
Yeah, but I guess because you also love to run, does that come when you were younger? That's something that you always did, running.
Yes, I've been, as long as I remember, I've been running early elementary school, maybe even before that. I've always loved to run. It's been my favorite sport ever since.
Yeah, so that's why I guess Terry Fox has a huge impact on you, not only because he ran almost across Canada, but because also he was fighting cancer. We already talked about this. I still remember you told me that your grandfather passed away of cancer. So I think that had for you and your brother, that it was something that had a deep meaning. Is that right?
Of course, we all had different reasons to why we wanted to do that run, and definitely some of the reasons were very personal.
Mm. So talking about running, and this is something interesting for those who don't know. You and six other people, including your brother. You guys went to Montreal to Vancouver. So you ran to Montreal, Washington DC, and then you try again to Montreal, Vancouver, and that was from the run to Vancouver and the Montreal Runners. Can you explain a little bit about that? What was the objective? And it was also related to Terry Fox, but can you go a little bit deeper?
For sure. So back how it started. So just to give a bit of perspective, Montreal to Washington D.C. is about 1,000 kilometers away.
Yeah.
Montreal to Vancouver is about 4,600 kilometers away. So it's a significantly big difference. A friend of ours approached us, Keaston Herschel. He
Yeah.
said he was really inspired by the Washington run. Let's do another run, but let's do something even bigger.
Yes.
So that's where the idea came about. And then we had to kind of jump into it and see, is this possible? How will we do it? Break down all the steps and all the logistics of it. And we wanted to do it because one, our passion for running has never died. We want to keep doing things using our running for as long as we can. Two, the fight for cancer is not over. We want to continue fighting cancer for as long as we can. And three, we want to continue to represent the Terry Fox Foundation because they're an ideal and they're a very good example of how a foundation should be and how we should raise funds for a cause like that. So many things influencing us to do a run like that. And we wanted to do something as big as we can, test our limits, test
Yeah.
ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally. We wanted to do the hardest thing we can do because we wanted to show people that no matter how difficult something can be, that it can be very possible. And we wanted to prove people wrong, and we wanted to show them that, if you're driven, if you're passionate, you're determined, that you're able to do something as big as that.
Exactly, but you guys say that it started like as a joke, and you guys didn't think it was possible. So you guys just talk about it and say, "Oh, maybe it is not possible," but you still did it. And you talk a lot about if you want something, you just have to do it. So it was kind of a mindset to just push it yourself so far. And all six of you guys had something they were running for. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all had things pushing us to do it. Whenever we were running, and at one point when we'd be in a very difficult situation, we'd be struggling, there would be something we were thinking about that helped us move forward.
Exactly, because the goal was to raise at least $50,000 to cancer research, and at the end, I think how
Yes.
much money did you raise?
At the moment, we're at about 35,000.
Ah, okay, it's still going on.
Yes, we still trying to raise money. After the run, we are continuing to do speeches at schools, at camps. We're still very active on our social media. So yes, we're still accepting donations, and we really want to be able to get to that $50,000 goal.
Exactly. So how was the run? Because I saw the documentary, by the way. Congrats, nice done. And I saw you guys were running, and you take each and every one of you were taking turns. But also there was a lot of emotion for everyone, all of you. Some were crying, some were like even tired, but you still continue. How was the mindset, the preparation to run, like maybe in rain, maybe in hot temperature? How was it?
Right. We had a few days of rain. The rain was actually sometimes quite nice. It was refreshing.
Yeah,
But a lot of times we were running in the extreme heat. It was very hot some days. And to go back to what you were saying, the parts where we were crying, I
yeah.
think the most emotional parts were when we arrived at Thunder Bay on our 10th day. And in Thunder Bay is where Terry Fox had to stop his run.
Exactly.
And it's where they a huge Terry Fox monument, and seeing that monument was life changing for all of us. It kind of just put into perspective, where we are right now, how far we've gone, but also how far we can go, how far we can push ourselves. We always use him as an inspiration because what he did was just it was just so much more. It's we can't even fathom how much he had done,
Yes,
and at that point it really helped us continue. Like up the first 10 days were very difficult, but after seeing the monument and thinking of that, it changed our mindset completely, and we were just stronger than ever after that.
exactly. And also because while you were running, passing by cities, a lot of people were supporting you. I saw this, you talk with the citizens over there, and they always support you. So was that also something that had a lot of meaning? Always passing by near people and they tell you, go ahead and don't give up.
For sure, that was one of the main differences I saw between the Washington and the Vancouver run.
Okay.
In Vancouver run, since we were running in Canada, so many more Canadians are familiar with Terry Fox. The hospitality we received and the reception we received was just so much different. Canadians were they were so generous, so nice. So many people we met on the road, so many people we stayed with. They were incredible people. And honestly, it's those people that made the trip so much better and made it such an amazing experience, because Canadians, honestly, they're the nicest people in the world. I
Yeah,
honestly think.
that's for sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, so while you guys were running, do you anyone or you guys think about giving up and maybe stop the run, or like what's all you guys think was we're gonna give it all in going into Vancouver?
I mean, we did have to really consider injuries, things like that, because you don't want to push yourself too much because it becomes dangerous.
Yes,
You don't want an injury that becomes permanent, right? So if ever one team member was struggling, for example, if they were not able to do 5 kilometers one day, another team member would take that 5 kilometers.
okay,
And I think that was great because it's a good representation of teamwork.
yes,
Whenever one person was falling behind, there was always someone else to help them back up. We were always supporting each other the entire way. And if one person felt like they couldn't do something one day, we would take care of that.
yeah. I guess that has make you stronger also because you bond with those guys together with your brother, maybe more deeper than before. So has that been a good
Mhm.
experience for you even right now in the future?
For sure. The bond I have with those guys, it's you can't even compare. It's just spending an entire month with them and doing something incredible like that. It's one thing spending that much time with them, but when you're doing something so important to you, it makes a huge difference on how those relationships form.
Yes.
And they're I can consider all of them my family. They're amazing people. I would totally do it all over again with the exact same team if I could. They're all amazing athletes and very good people.
Exactly. But you guys spending 1 month, you guys getting any conflict, any fights just like that, or was everything going smoothly and okay?
Yeah, this is a question we get a lot, and I mean, typically it's obviously the side of us that we wouldn't show on social media. But yes, we did have conflicts at some point, but it was never within bad intentions. You're in the heat, you're exhausted, you're sleep deprived. It was gonna happen. People just get frustrated. People get angry. But at the end of the day, we forgot all about that. When we reached the finish line, we were all very happy. We realized how much work we had put into it. Maybe it took a lot of fighting in the process, but at the end of the day, we were all very happy.
Exactly. So how did you feel? How did you feel you yourself when you arrive at the finish line? When you saw the case done, how do you have like a sense of okay, accomplishment?
Yes, the finish line was absolutely incredible. I felt the best in, like, it was one of the best moments of my life, honestly. We were running down that runway, seeing the Terry Fox statue at the Simon Fraser University. And to my surprise, my brother and I's parents were actually there at the finish line.
Yes.
I had no idea that they would fly across Canada to be there for our arrival. So just showing up there, the other runners, their parents were there too. A lot of supporters, friends, people I didn't expect to be there. It was an incredible finish. And then we just all kind of huddled up together. We all hugged each other and we were just screaming at the top of our lungs because we were just so happy. It was euphoric. That's the only way I know how to describe it. It was
Yeah,
incredible.
it was incredible. I saw also the end of the documentary when you guys were there together and you hugged each other as a team and as brothers almost, like real. Like that was good. That was great. A great moment. But also there's
Yeah.
something like there's also something another thing that you guys met with Terry Fox brother Fred Fox, and you even run with him a little bit, each and every one of you guys.
Yeah, that was a really cool story. I forget which day it was. It was maybe our 28th, 29th day.
Yeah.
And Fred Fox, Terry Fox's brother, he had no idea where we were on the road. He had
Yeah.
an idea. He
Okay.
was driving around. I believe it was quite a while. He was driving around looking for us until he finally found us. And it was a crazy surprise that he wanted to run with us. And we all got to run with him. We all got to speak with him. And it was an incredible moment for all of us.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome too. So you get to experience running with him, but also him talking about Terry Fox, about his brother. So because he's somebody that was with him, right?
Of course, yeah, it was almost hard to process that, I'm talking to somebody that was so close to Terry Fox. Like it was a very, it was very hard moment to go through. It was incredible.
Exactly. But I want to ask you, how much an impact has Terry Fox made on you? When did you discover him? When you were a kid, or when your grandfather was sick, or was something that before when you were running, when you start running? When did you find out about Terry Fox and why he has so much impact into you?
Yes, I believe it goes all the way back to elementary school. Terry Fox, we would do Terry Fox runs every year. So
Okay.
I've always known about Terry Fox. I've always known what he has done. So I've been a supporter for a very long time. And I just found that, when we did our Vancouver run, we were about his age. So when we got to that point, I felt like since he was able to do it at that age, that we would be able to do it too.
Yeah, and to put in context for those who don't know, Terry Fox he ran with one leg. He was running with run one leg. He went from the east of Canada into Ontario, and he made such an impact. So, why do you think he made such an impact across Canada like that? One person.
One, he was battling cancer, which is a fight that's already hard on its own. Two, he was running with a prosthetic leg. And if you look into it, you could see that running with a prosthetic leg is much more difficult and much more painful to do than with a regular leg. The amount of distance he ran every single day was more than we did individually. And just the amount of days he ran was also incredible. Running a marathon a day for 143 days, it's incredible to just even think about it. And it's painful just thinking about that,
Yeah.
especially for him. So, I don't think there'll ever be a person like him. I don't think someone, so just what he did is just, nobody has been able to replicate that. And his impact is just, the foundation itself is just incredible. It's raised so much money. It's made such a huge difference in the cancer world. So
Yes.
I think that's really, he's a he's so well known. It's just because of the tremendous impact he's had.
Yes, exactly. But do you think if Terry Fox had finished his running into Vancouver, that he will have a bigger impact? He had the capacity to go into Vancouver, which his legacy will be bigger.
It's a hard question to answer, but honestly, I don't think so because I think why so many people admire Terry Fox is because of the idea of his run and
Yeah,
that the fact that he started because starting something like that is the hardest part. And if he was able to finish it, he would have. There was
yeah,
nothing stopping him from not doing it. So it's unfortunate that it had to stop, but everybody knows that if he was able to do it, he would have done it.
exactly. But also because you guys run across Canada, you had the possibility to do conference in high schools and like in cancer centers. Like, how was that
Mhm.
experience talking to young kids, and what do you guys talk about to them? What do you say to them, to those kids?
Yeah, so when we're speaking to, so we've spoken to elementary schools and high schools. It's really nice speaking with kids because they're still young, so they still have a lot to learn. So, and it's easy to be inspired when you're young like that. You know, if you give them an idea, they'll grow up with that idea. So
Yeah.
that's what we kind of try and do. Like I had said before, we've all been running for a very long time. We found out that running was our passion at a very young age. So we want to spread the idea that, you know, even when you're young, you can find your passion and you can find something that you really like and that
Yes.
you can use that to do something. You can do that. You can use your passions to help a cause that you really care about. So that's the idea we try and get across the younger kids. Speaking to the cancer patients, that was just a whole other experience and very different experience. It was very touching because, you know, for the first time we were speaking to people that were directly affected by what we had done. A lot of them were very familiar with Terry Fox,
Yes.
about what his foundation has about the different sorts of treatments that are available because of the foundation. So being able to present our documentary and just to speak with them was very emotional, and honestly it drives you more. It makes you want to do more because you just want to keep giving to those kind of people.
Yes. So you guys, when you speak in front of people, you have a message to say, so you were prepared. And was it hard to talk to those cancer patients when you see them sick? Was it hard for you guys to talk to them and trying to explain your mission?
It really, yeah, it could be difficult sometimes, but you just have to think. And you know, at the end of the day, we're Terry Fox was really about hope. He was really
Yeah.
about giving people, and we want to try and be able to do that too. So we're going to try our best to, you know, be optimistic, um, help these people be cheerful, help these people be hopeful, and, you know, hope for the best.
All right. And I really recommend people to go and watch the documentary, the Montreal Run Across Canada, which is available, I imagine, on the YouTube channel. And I saw it at home. I couldn't make it to the day of the presentation, but I saw it on my at home, so it was great, well done, and again, I think it's really inspiring for anyone who's watching this right now, that you guys went and did something that most people would think is impossible. You guys really did it. Yeah,
Yes, and that's the idea we want to get across is, you know, if something seems impossible, it's not. There's a way to do it always.
exactly. But also this year in 2020 is also the 40th anniversary of the Terry Fox Run. And with the COVID-19 situation, they canceled because there's always a Terry Fox run, so they canceled everything, which is held in September. But even in September, they canceled. And I guess how does that has an impact into you, because you always run every year, I think, for the Terry Fox runs.
Yes, I'm always there. Um, I'm not going to say too much, but we did have very big plans for the summer.
Yeah.
But because of COVID, we have
Mm.
to kind of wait.
Uh-huh.
So that plan is kind of set aside. But for the annual Terry Fox run, I guess we're gonna have to see. Hopefully, conditions will be better so that we'll be able to do the run.
Yes.
But not if not, I still think that there's a lot of supporters. A lot of people will still donate. Despite that, they'll be very understanding and they'll raise money regardless.
But you went and did a half a marathon just to commemorate that for your anniversary. You went outside, even with social distance. You went and did half a marathon, which is impressive. Yeah, yeah,
Sure, a lot of people that day were actually running distances for Terry Fox. So that was really
right.
nice to see.
So, what do you think about? They say they're gonna held the Terry Fox virtually. How's that? Like, are you gonna how they're gonna make it? Like, are people gonna run or like because they say they're gonna present that virtually by video? How does work? How does that work?
For the what again? Sorry,
Well, I mean,
didn't
the
catch
Terry
that.
Fox run. They say they're gonna held that on a video conference virtually. So how they gonna present that virtually? Do you know? Do you have an idea?
Oh no, I actually hadn't heard of that. They said they're gonna present it. You're gonna have it virtually. That's what they
Yeah,
said.
virtually. That's exactly. I was reading the news, so they say that they canceled the Terry Fox runs on September, but they're gonna do something virtually. I don't know what sort of event, but they're gonna do something.
I actually did not hear of that,
Yeah,
but I'm not sure. Maybe it'll be kind of like what I did. Everyone can go out, run some kilometers themselves, and just that'll be that. But I don't know. It's really hard. It's this pandemic. It's not something we go through very often. So the answers we don't know them all the time.
yeah. But also because of this pandemic, and I think this is a little bit sad. We didn't hear that much about the 40-year anniversary of Terry Fox Run on the media, and not a lot of people talk about it. What do you
Yeah.
think about that? That's something that we should talk a little bit more. But I understand with this pandemic. So yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's a bit disappointing that we weren't able to get the message across, but I at the moment there are, I guess, bigger problems.
yeah,
COVID, it's the main thing that we're concerned about right now. But it is disappointing at the same time because it is the 40th anniversary, and I guess the next time we will celebrate is the 50th, perhaps, and it's a whole 10 years away. But
yeah,
we can remain hopeful. Maybe if things clear up in the summer, we can still, maybe they'll still talk about it. Maybe we still have the rest of the year to hopefully, tell people about it. So I guess we'll have to see.
yeah. And also, there's a possibility that Terry Fox is gonna be on the $5 bill, as that's huge also. Yeah.
Yes, I saw they were doing the votes. I was telling everyone to vote for Terry Fox. So I really hope that happens. I really think he deserves to be on the bill.
Yeah, because that will make his legacy bigger to see him on a $5 bill. I think that will be great for everyone that loves Terry Fox and that's saw him, because a lot of people even right now they remember him. That maybe they saw him in person, and the next generation is
Mhm.
gonna see him on the $5 bill, which is great. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, I really did as many people as I could to do it. So
exactly.
hopefully it happens.
So before we go to the end of the podcast, I just want to let people know where they can contact you. There's people watching right now, so where they can see. I want to talk with Marc-André. What are the platforms that you use the most?
The platforms I use the most are Instagram. So my Instagram name is my full name, so Marc-André Blouin. I'm also reachable on Facebook if ever.
Yeah,
And also, you can always reach us through our running page. We have a running page on Facebook, which
yeah,
is the Montreal Runners. also have our runner page on Instagram, which is also the Montreal Runners.
You guys create like a Strava, no, Strava, is that right? So people can see how many runs do you do? Is that right?
Yes. More recently, we started Strava. We created a club on Strava. So for those familiar, it's just kind of, you create a club on Strava. You can have runners join it, and then it shows all of their statistics. You have leaderboards, things like that. So yes, we do have a club, and it's under the name the Montreal Runners. So we encourage people to join that too. We want to build a community of runners in Montreal, so the more the better.
All right, I'm gonna put all the links in the description so you can reach out to Marc-André and the Montreal Runners. Listen, there's no choice to talk about the COVID-19 situation. We know coronavirus is real and affects a lot of people, but I also want to talk about cancer. I think it's also important to let people know that cancer is still there, and we have to reach awareness with stuff like you guys do, like running and have a message of hope. But what do you think about this? Should we put that stuff aside? Should we stop giving money to charities about cancer and other sickness?
It's a really hard question because, I mean, the thing that I'm most concerned about is the people that are most vulnerable to COVID. At the moment, I really think that, COVID is something we have to deal with, and everything else. As important as it is, COVID is really
The
the main
priority
problem, I would say.
right now. But also remember that we can also still give money to charity, even for those that can give money to charities for any kind of research, whatever is cancer or other stuff. So I think it's important to always remember that there's other stuff, but let's not forget that coronavirus is the priority right now. But yeah, just to let people know that there's other sickness and there's other people in distress also.
Mm-hmm. Because, for example, with cancer, we do have some treatments. We have made progress over the years, but for COVID, it's still very new.
Mm-hmm.
We still don't have treatments available. So yes, it is a priority because we need to make progress.
Exactly. So Marc-André, are you guys gonna run again to I don't know to Montreal, Vancouver? You planning any runs, any bigger runs? You say you had something in summer, but let's put that aside right now. But do you want to run again and do something like that again?
Honestly, I would love to, but I don't know, because like with the Vancouver run, running in Canada, running in our home country was just, it was incredible. But if we were to do something else, I don't think we would be able to do it in Canada
Yeah,
because I feel like we've covered it. For example, if we were to run in Europe, I don't know how I don't know how the people would react. I don't know how many people are familiar with Terry Fox there. It would be more expensive. It would be more difficult. So we really don't know. But honestly, I would love to do something like that again. I would totally do the Vancouver run all over again because it was just a phenomenal experience for a
yeah,
very good cause. But despite that, even with the Montreal Runners, we do want to continue to carry it as a charity. We still want to be able to speak with schools, speak with camps, and inspire and encourage people to do things with their passions and to encourage youth to do things that they thought were not possible.
exactly. I just want to ask you, how old are you? You're 24, I think. Are you 24?
Yes, I'm 23.
22. You're so young, man. You already did some great stuff, and you're planning to do more, which is impressive. And really, thank you for your time, Marc-André. I think there's a lot of hope in this podcast. A lot of great message with Terry Fox and also with yourself and the other 5 members that did the run. And yeah, so I think that's an amazing story, and I'm excited to see more and excited to see the Montreal Runners again running again and trying to spread hope and everything. So thank you so much for your time, Marc-André. That was very appreciated.
Thank you, Hugo. It's always a pleasure.
All right. Thank you so much for everyone that watched this live. It's going to be available also on the YouTube channel. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel. You're going to continue connecting influencers with the audience through events, webinars, and podcasting. All right. Bye-bye, people.